Oh boy, this video is gonna get a lot of hate, but I don't care. I want to talk about my feelings about this topic since this is a video I've wanted to make for a while now, and I don't know why I've been waiting to make a video like this, but this is a video I kind of want to talk about, and it's stuff that I think needs to be addressed about some of the character choosings in Smash. Now, I want to make things very clear, and I know a lot of people just jump to the conclusions before they even hear what I have to say. I am not disappointed at the Smash roster. I'm happy with the roster. Because I'm making this video, it doesn't mean that I'm not happy with the roster. I'm very happy with the roster, and I'm excited for a lot of the new characters that were in the game, and I'm just glad that all the past characters returned in this game. And if you like these characters, that is totally fine. If you guys like these characters and you want to see more of these types of characters, that is totally okay. But as you guys have the right to like these characters, I also have the right to not like these characters. So, all I'm saying is that this is my personal opinion. You do not have to agree with me. I'm not saying this is fact, but I do believe there is a problem with the topic I'm going to be talking about. And that is, the Fire Emblem characters in Smash. I think it's kind of a problem, and I kind of want to address the problem, and, I want to explain to you guys why I think this is a problem. Now, I don't know why I haven't talked about this. This is something I do feel needs to be said. So, Fire Emblem. It's a series that exists. Fire Emblem is a series that Nintendo is really trying hard to promote. They really want this series to be one of their flagship series, and they want people to, buy these games, and they really want, people to really acknowledge that these games exist. And, Smash is a good way to promote characters and get things popular. Smash is definitely a great tool for that, and, it makes a whole lot of sense for Nintendo to include, Fire Emblem characters and stuff like that, if they really want to promote this series and make it a big series. However, there is a problem. It's that, there is a huge amount of Fire Emblem characters. Marth, Roy, Ike, Robin, Lucina, Corrin, and Chrom. Those are 7 Fire Emblem characters. Now, I'm going to talk about why this is such a problem. Because 6 of the 7 Fire Emblem characters are almost the exact same character. For instance, let me do a rundown of all the characters and their attributes. Marth, he's a sword fighter. Roy, he's a sword fighter. Ike, he's a buff sword fighter. Robin, he uses magic, but still carries a sword. Lucina, she's a sword fighter. Corrin has dragon-like attacks, but is still mostly a sword fighter. And Chrom is a sword fighter. Yeah, basically, as I'm going over all these characters, I have mentioned a sword fighter every single time I've talked about these characters. 6 out of the 7 characters that I just mentioned are characters that are completely different. And that character is Robin. I feel Robin is the only character out of the Fire Emblem series that is even remotely interesting and does not play anything like the other characters in his series. Robin, I feel like he's the only unique one, and the one that really stands out from the rest. Everyone else, they're just the same thing, except they have different attributes, but for the most part, they're the same thing, and that's probably the main problem with these Fire Emblem characters, because they don't really do much to, change each other. Now, here's the thing. I personally feel if Nintendo really wants to promote Fire Emblem and makes it a flagship series, I honestly feel like characters like Marth and Roy pretty much fit the build for what Fire Emblem is, and I feel like them alone would have been enough promotion to promote the series, but Sakurai honestly really loves these characters. I can kind of see it. They look pretty cool, but I just think there's way too much. Now, here's a point that I see a lot of people bring up, and they don't understand the difference between this and this. The Mario and Pokemon series, a lot of people bring up that, like, oh, if it's a problem for Fire Emblem characters, then why isn't it a problem for Mario and Pokemon characters? You know, why is no one complaining about those series having a lot of newcomers? Well, there is a big difference. The Mario and Pokemon series are not as bad with the amount of newcomers, because each character in those series are different in many ways. For example, I'm going to talk about the Mario characters first, and then I'm going to talk about the Pokemon characters. Mario is a balanced character who has average speed and average weight. Luigi is more of a zoner who is very floaty and has low traction. Bowser is a powerhouse who is slow on the ground. Peach is a defensive character who attacks with a variety of different items like toads and vegetables. Rosalina is a zoner and spacer who fights with Aluma alongside her to deliver some devastating attacks, and Bowser Jr. attacks with a variety of different contraptions like summoning Mecha Koopas and driving his clown car. Pokemon, on the other hand, has a variety of different characters as well. Pikachu and Pichu are electric Pokemon, Jigglypuff is a balloon Pokemon, Mewtwo is an evil Pokemon, Lucario is an aura Pokemon, Ivysaur is a grass Pokemon, Squirtle and Greninja are water Pokemon, and Incineroar and Charizard are fire Pokemon. As you see there, that in of itself is a huge difference. The difference between the Mario and Pokemon series is that each character is varied in many different ways, and they don't play anything like their counterparts. Another Mario character is Piranha Plant. He was just released a few days ago, and he plays nothing like the Mario characters. The Fire Emblem characters is a completely different story because they play very similar to themselves, and I feel like that's a problem. Now, I'm going to bring up sales and stuff. I know a lot of people don't like that as a reason, but it's very important. Now, I'm going to look up the sales. I'm going to just say it right now. The Mario and Pokemon series really does deserve the amount of newcomers they have. And here's why. Mario and Pokemon are in the top 2 best-selling games. I'm going to look up best-selling Nintendo series. And I'm going to show you guys that, I'm going to show you evidence online that these 2 series are Nintendo's best-selling, series. I just got to get to it, but it's the truth. Now, just hold on. Looking it up right now. Just waiting for this to load, and then it should load. Right here. The list. Mario has 200 million. Pokemon has 180 million. And not only that, but those series, are not only, those series are not only on the best-selling, they're not only on the best-selling Nintendo franchises, they're the top 2 choices on the best-selling video game franchises. That's how big they are. Now, if I can find Fire Emblem is nowhere. Like, I did not see Fire Emblem at all. And I do know that the series is growing. I do understand that the series is getting popular. But you have to realize that franchises like Zelda, Zelda has 52 million sold. They're one of Nintendo's most popular series in the world. But yet they haven't received a newcomer since Brawl. And that is wrong, I feel, and I feel like Zelda needs more reps. Zelda is like Nintendo's 3rd most popular series. Like, it's crazy how, you know, that the Fire Emblem series has more newcomers and reps than Zelda, which is one of Nintendo's flagship series, and that's really weird. Same for series like the Kirby series. You know, that series is criminally underrated with newcomers. The only newcomers they have is well, not newcomers, but the only characters that series has is Kirby, Meta Knight, and King Dedede, and that's it. And that is still one of Nintendo's most successful series. Fire Emblem, I get that it's popular and that Nintendo wants to get it popular, but I feel like there's other series that I feel deserve more. And I feel kind of bad for those series that, you know, they just get shoved to the side. Now, here's the thing. If Sakurai wants to include more Fire Emblem characters, that is okay. You know, I understand that Fire Emblem characters, you know, some people might not be okay with them, but here is a way to make people not complain about them. Here's a little way. Instead of choosing sword fighters, he should choose characters that do not use swords to make the cast have more of a variety. Like, a good example of a Fire Emblem character they can choose, I know hardly about what the Fire Emblem series has, but what I do know is that there is a character named Edelgard, who is going to be one of the main characters in the new game, Fire Emblem Three Houses. She's going to be a completely brand new character, and she attacks with an axe. Now, we do not have an axe wielder in the Smash roster at all, I don't think. And I think that she would be a perfect fit for the Fire Emblem series, and if they really want to promote Fire Emblem Three Houses, then Edelgard should definitely be their pick, because she's different than just, oh boy, another sword fighter. Characters like this would make people not complain about these characters that often, and that is why the Mario and Pokemon series are a bit different than Fire Emblem, because one, they're Nintendo's most popular franchises, and they're the most popular franchises in video game history. Two, you know, the cast of characters in those series vary in many ways. They're completely different to each other, and that's why those series are not a problem. Fire Emblem, on the other hand, I just feel they need more of a variety of, you know, different, just a variety of different characters than just, okay, another sword fighter. Now, I will say that I'm not counting Chrom, because he is an Echo Fighter, and, you know, that's basically what Echo Fighters are made for. They're made for clones. But the thing is that Roy is kind of like a clone of Marth. So, Chrom is like an Echo Fighter of an Echo Fighter. And, I mean, I know Roy has has some differences, but for the most part, he's very similar to Marth. Similar to how Dr. Mario and Pichu are to Mario and Pikachu. They aren't really the same character, but they have a lot of similarities. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this topic. Again, I will clarify that if you guys are happy with these characters, that's totally fine. In fact, if a new Fire Emblem character comes into Smash and it is a sword fighter, okay, I don't care, you know, they can add those characters of course, at the end of the day, this is Sakurai's game, and he can choose the characters he wants to include. But I'm just saying that I'm not a big fan of them. I just want more of a variety of different characters from this series. It's not that I don't like to see Fire Emblem characters, but I just don't like to see the same type of Fire Emblem character every game. And I just want more of a variety with these characters. I feel like the series has a lot of potential to introduce new and exciting characters, and original characters as well that Smash has never seen before, but Sakurai just keeps missing that opportunity. The only character that I feel from the Fire Emblem series that is even remotely interesting is Robin, and that's kind of sad seeing how the series has 7 reps. I just hope that if they choose another Fire Emblem character for Smash Ultimate's DLC, I just hope it's not a sword fighter. Make it someone interesting, and make it a character that we haven't seen before. That's basically all I'm saying. But again, if you like these characters, that's totally fine, and I'm not going to berate you for it. If you guys are totally happy with the Fire Emblem characters, hey, you do you. But I just want to talk about this because I feel it is kind of a problem And I hope Sakurai, realizes this and they introduce, more varied Fire Emblem characters. That's basically the whole point of this video. But anyways, what do you guys think? Do you guys think there is a problem with Fire Emblem characters, or do you guys just not care? Let me know in the comments down below, and I would love to hear it. Anyways, this has been Enigma, and peace. See you next time.